quick poll. PS4 or Xbox One? Raj?
Xbox One.
Penny?
Huh?
Leonard?
PS4.
Wallowitz?
Both great.
Bernadette?
I like the Wii.
Donnie Reece here from PSVG, and I brought Caroline and Seth with me. Hey guys.
What do you mean you brought me?
I brought you guys? Well, that's true. You're always here. You're always here. The tweet I just sent out was Seth. Seth, we've got Seth the Goat's here. Hey man.
Yes. Hi.
What's up?
Welcome back to the Shack. The Shack is back.
Shack is back. Thanks for inviting me back. Last time I was on, I trash talked the Switch Pro controller, so I wasn't sure if I'd be invited back on.
Interesting, you should say that.
Yeah, you're gonna get another opportunity to either make amends or do some more. And I actually think tonight's docket is kind of set up well for you with your PlayStation experience. I think we'll have quite an interesting topic or debate or two. Ladies and gentlemen,
don't oversell it.
Oh, I will. Boys and girls, I have bronchitis. And I'm heavily medicated.
No!
And I don't know how this is going to go. So if at any point I just start coughing and you see me leave the camera feed, Caroline has you covered. Thank you.
Wing girl.
Wing girl. That's what we need tonight. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So we've got a ton of news to cover. Then we've got a discussion topic that may or may not go a long ways. If it goes a long ways, we may not be able to get to questions. So we're going to put what you've been playing off again. I know. I feel like you want to, I know, Caroline, you want to talk all about Little Dragon's Cafe, don't you?
That's all right, because there's nothing to play on Nintendo Switch anyway. So
I'm going to come over there. I'm going to come over there and strangle you, and then take your cat home with me because it's being abused in that household.
You can take the cat.
Oh,
He's
really?
Nice. I like the cat, but
his tail was flicking back and forth, and I know that means angry cat.
He's crazy. He was just sitting there, and he just goes wild.
Caroline's been playing Little Dragon's Cafe over there on Twitch, twitch.tv/thenintendame. Jason is playing The Messenger, I believe, the game that just got dropped and just got a bunch of review scores. And I have begun my Dead Cells journey, so tune in next week to Nintendo Shack for some what you've been playing feedback. But we've got a lot of news to get through, and it's been just kind of this way this month. Nintendo's had kind of a lot of things to say. So let's just jump right into it. Nintendo Shack 45, Too Many Nindies, kicks off with Smash Ultimate Edition. The Smash Ultimate Limited Edition was announced for America. We saw this for Europe. Europe has a limited edition that comes with a GameCube adapter and a GameCube controller and a little snazzy box and a steelbook. America is getting a steelbook of its own, as well as a custom Pro controller. So, Caroline, what do you think about the limited edition?
Before we get into the limited edition, it should also be known that if you pre-order, I think if you just pre-order through Best Buy, regardless if you get the Ultimate Limited Edition or the Ultimate Regular Edition, they're giving away one of those Nintendo double-sided coins.
Yep.
I think that's only with Best Buy. So I've had my pre-order out, but I saw that dropped today or something. Mm-hmm. I think that this is a sick-looking controller. It looks really, really nice, dude. Really nice. And I was thinking to myself, I own 5 pairs of Joy-Cons and a Pro controller already. I do not need this. And I, still want more Joy-Cons. And I want the Xenoblade controller, and it's just never going to happen. But I can't see myself, it is for sale separately, by the way, guys.
It's worth mentioning the bundle, the game, the Steelbook, the controller is $140.
140.
The controller separately is $75.
Is it 75? I thought it was 80.
$74.99.
Okay.
So you save $5.
$5.
You bundle the two together.
But you get a steelbook. I mean, that's exclusive. I think that the steelbook's nice. I'm not a steelbook collector. I'm a collector, but I'm not a steelbook collector. What are you talking about? I'm not gonna go all in for this, but I think it's really sweet. It's probably one of the better looking Pro controllers. Probably don't know. I like that Splatoon one too. Yeah, I think it's definitely the best looking one.
Let's get Seth in here for a minute before I give mine. Seth, what do you think about this Ultimate Edition?
It's fine for fans of the thing. I haven't actually even seen what the steelbook looks like, but
it's just black. It's a black steelbook with the Smash logo all fired out.
Okay.
It's very minimal. It's very stylish.
So kind of like the Pro controller is just a black controller with a white 4 on it and 2 white little handles.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
It's not a 4, it's a Smash logo. Man, I love this.
The Smash logo looks like a 4.
I love this controller.
It's a good logo.
This controller is so hot. It's so much better than the Splatoon controller and the Xeno controller.
I like the Splatoon controller because it had those ink splots in the the
those were cool.
Part. I like that part.
Those were cool.
I like the Splatoon controller. Not enough to buy one, but
now a shopping tip, Donnie hustle tip here. If you still have access to GCU, this is a really good deal because the Ultimate Edition is discounted, so you're getting a really good discount on hardware, which you can't get anywhere else. So I was able. I think the price comes down to like $111 is what I pre-ordered, and I cashed in some coupons too on it. So yeah, it's really nice.
That goes for the controller as well. If you wanted to just get the controller, I believe those are 20% off too.
No. If you go if you go separately on the controller, you don't get any discount. They only discount software. That's why you get a discount on the bundle. You get no discount on hardware at all with GCU.
Okay. Well, I thought I bought some Joy-Cons and they gave me the 20% off, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Count yourself lucky. That's definitely not the way it typically works.
I'm going to double check you right now, but go ahead.
Okay. Last week, we talked all about Europe's little Nindie showcase, while America had their own, as we alluded to last week. I will go ahead and tell you this now. All of the things that we wanted and said were going to happen, or we wanted to happen, hopefully were happen, none of those things happened. None of that happened at all. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to read off this list of games, then we'll go around the room for reactions and feedback. Shown in Nintendo America's Nindie Showcase, Hyper Light Drifter, Tower Fall, Into the Breach, Untitled Goose Game, Wasteland 2, Zarvot, Minoko's Night Market, Samurai Gun 2, Bullet Age, The World Next Door, Levelhead, Treasure Stack, and Desert Child. And it's worth mentioning they had a little sizzle reel in an indie sizzle reel of The Messenger, Undertale, Bastion, Jackbox 5, and Transistor. Transistor and Bastion, of note, have quite a bit fan following, so they were just kind of shoved in there, kind of like a little buried, kind of like afterthoughts. Seth, what did you think about Nintendo of America's Nindie Showcase?
All right. The games, there was nothing in there that I'm going to run out and buy day one. I will say you mentioned Transistor and Bastion. Transistor is one of my favorite games of this generation, one of my favorite games on PS4. And so it automatically becomes one of my favorite games on Switch, even if I probably won't buy it again because there's no reason to. But if you've never had a chance to play Transistor or Bastion, they are definite must-buys, I think. I'm interested in Hyper Light Drifter, but I haven't bid on it yet. Tower Fall, which I already have on PlayStation, so I won't get it again, but I think it's cool that Madeline from Celeste is going to be in it. Mm-hmm. That's a really neat addition. I thought Levelhead looked kind of interesting, filling that Super Mario Maker void. I also thought it was interesting. It comes out in November, and I don't know when Chicken Wiggle if that's coming to Switch still, if it's not coming to Switch.
It's coming to Switch. It was funded, but there's no... I don't think there's a time. I don't think it's soon.
I think that's a cuter game than Levelhead is, maybe. But I think this kind of fits that same mold of people who want to be creative and build platforming levels. So, Into the Breach looks interesting. Oh, and then the one game that I really was excited is coming to Switch is Sword and Sorcery. I don't know if either of you have ever played that.
But I saw it
on mobile. I really liked it on iPhone, but I'm just not a... I like some iPhone games, but I can get into them for a little bit, and that's not where I want to play a game.
Okay, so to recap...
A game like this.
To recap, you're really excited for, 9 that you're interested in, you're not buying any of them. Is that the case here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like on day one. I mean, I could.
But you might nibble on one or two.
Entertain them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll entertain them, and really, depending, I don't know if there's a price point for Sword and Sorcery, but I might jump on that pretty quickly. I've thought about the Messenger, but I'm currently also going through Dead Cells, and I can only take so much side-scrolling, retro, difficult hack and slash platformer at once.
Messenger's getting just rave reviews. 10s,
Yeah.
So was,
10s.
So was Dead Cells.
Oh yeah, I jumped in on the Dead Cells because of the hype.
Oh, the other game I thought looked really interesting was The World Next Door. It's like an adventure story-based game that is a puzzle.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminded me a little bit. The puzzles don't remind me of Catherine, but kind of like that sort of. It's a story-based game with a puzzle element. I thought that looked interesting, so that'll be one, and that's early 2019. I don't know. So there was a lot of interesting things, but nothing that I'm like.
So the highlight overall,
to
are you just kind of like meh? You thought it was good?
It was fine. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, I will go ahead and say that I thought this highlight was very meh or average, even below average is probably. I'm not necessarily sure if it was worth, I don't know, generating any buzz for the event based on the content. They could have just put up trailers. I am the type of Nintendo follower, I would have watched half of these game trailers individually anyway.
Sure.
But a lot of them have a style that I'm just kind of writing off at the moment. The only game in this list that I was even really entertaining is Mineko's Night Market, which we've seen before. That game just looks, I think, really cool. I don't know if I'm going to get it. It'll depend on when it comes out and what else is available when I'm playing, but it's like this Animal Crossing adventure game. Looks fun. It's kind of like some Night in the Woods stuff there for my liking. But it's going to kind of go into our topic discussion, but I'm going to burn this one now. Caroline, do you think gamers have like seasonal gaming tastes?
Seasonal.
Yeah, so like during
So,
the
like, they
year,
go through
during
the-
periods of the year, do you think gamers are like conditioned to be looking for certain things?
I mean, we always think that our big hits are coming in the holiday season, yeah. And then maybe throughout the year we want some indies peppered in there and stuff. That's a good question.
The reason I ask it is I see a lot of reaction to this highlight, short of calling it a direct, was, a lot of people seemed let down or upset or underwhelmed. And I kind of fell in the same category. And with me, with all these games, it's like I have my eyes set on such grander experiences because it's fall. I want Mario Party, I want Smash, I want Tomb Raider, I want Red Dead. None of these games are even going to like hit my window right now. Like they're all just kind of noise right now because I'm getting on.
The summer of indies has passed.
Yeah, it's like the time
kind of
has
thing.
passed. And I was wondering if maybe that might be an explanation why other people might feel the same way. Maybe people have their eyes set on, Xenoblade, something else, something bigger.
Sure.
As typically is the case every year. We typically run into something like this every year. Caroline, what did you think of the direct overall, and do you have any highlights?
I was kind of underwhelmed as well. I feel like they could have taken the European one and this one and made a 30-minute mashup of all the indies, and it would have been more profound. I think you compile all of that stuff, and everybody's just inundated with all of these games that are coming in the future. And I don't know, even though they were like a week or so apart, it just kind of felt like we just had one of these, because as Nintendo people, we're going to look and see what they had over in Nintendo Europe anyway. And there's news and all that stuff's been coming out. Plus, all these indie developers have been kind of making their own announcements. Hat in Time never was shown in any of the indie stuff, but yet they get their own announcement coming out saying, hey, we're bringing Hat in Time to Switch, but we don't get anything from Nintendo of Europe or Nintendo of America.
Not ready yet, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but going thing by thing, Hyper Light Drifter, I was shocked. It's one of those things where it's like, and it's out now type thing, but it's like, it's available to download now and available to play on the 6th.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that kind of went radio silence, and then boom, it's here. Not really interested. Towerfall looked interesting. And I think maybe because I was interested in the nice Matt Makes Games crossover that he's bringing Madeline and Badeline in there. I like that, but I've never played the game before. Into the Breach, not interested. Untitled Goose Game, hilarious. I've seen this game before when it was teased as a Steam or PC game. What in the world is going on?
Just keep going. I'm taking care of it. Keep going.
Oh my god, what in the hell is that? I haven't seen that face in a long, long time. What's up, Palm Skillet? What's up, Palm Skillet?
Hi!
Jason Lacey's in the house,
I
everybody.
heard there's a podcast going on.
Yeah, so like there was oh my god, what is that beautiful thing you are sitting in? We have to talk later. Okay, so Untitled Goose Game I saw on Steam as just like a thing that they'd been working on a while ago. And I love that this is coming to Switch because when I saw it, it was just kind of after the Goat Simulator high had gone around. And this thing came out and I was like, this is hysterical, and it's even better than what I thought. I thought it was even funnier than Goat Simulator, just the way that it looked, because you're just doing a bunch of bad crap. You're a bad goose. So I love the name Untitled Goose Game.
I want you to stream Goose Simulator, or whatever it's called,
Untitled Goose Game,
and commentate using the voice you just used the whole time.
What? You're a bad goose. That one?
Yeah, that voice. Okay. That's what I want you to commentate using the whole thing.
Wait, so she's wearing tank tops now, making funny voices. Yeah. She succumbed.
This is the pre-show,
This is
just
right?
a cool donkey.
We're starting at like 9. You guys told me we were starting at like 9:45, right? This is all pre-show, right?
Boy.
I'm on time, right?
So Wasteland 2, not interested. Zarvat, is that the one with the cubes talking to each other and like messing around? That was kind of cute, but I think the only reason that stood out to me, it was literally one of the only 3D games in all of this pixelized mess. But I like the pixelized stuff. Don't get me wrong. Mineko's Night Market. Holy crap, guys. Holy crap. I've been waiting for this game for the longest time. They originally said that it was going to be a PC Steam game only, and then they said, by the way, it's coming to Switch, and it's only coming to Switch and PC. And this game is nothing but cats. And me being the crazy cat lady is perfect. So I was shocked when this game was just even talked about, because I was like, I just figured, they said it would be coming in 2018, but it ended up it's being pushed to 2019, early 2019, which I'm fine with. But I had just given up hope that there wasn't going to be any talk about it, and that it was just going to just come out one day and I wasn't going to know about it. So I'm very thrilled we got to see some more stuff on it. And it's wonderful. It is adorable. It's got crafting. It's got selling, shop mechanic type thing, and then just cats. Like the guy that was explaining it, he's like, my dog is going to be very angry at me because I've been dreaming about raising cats, racing cats, and worst of all, petting cats. And I was like, that's my game. That's my game. Samurai Gun 2 looked like Samurai Champloo in the game. Bullet Age, not interested. The World Next Door looked pretty interesting. I like that story element with like the dialogue back and forth and stuff. Levelhead, Treasure Stack, no. Desert Child, no. And then for the sizzle reel, The Messenger obviously is going great. Undertale, we finally got a September 18th release date, which I have it on pre-order, and I am apparently the only one in the entire PSVG community that has played Undertale, so what the heck is going on?
What about Lucas?
Oh, yeah, you played it. I pre-ordered
it. Lucas has played it too. So I'm glad everybody else
is out of the community. He's out of the community.
No, Lucas is in the community. He's just anyway, sorry. Lucas has played it.
Well, I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I didn't mean it any
love
bad
Brother
way.
Lucas. You meant something. There's
Lucas
something.
Too. No, I'm just saying.
She just gave Lucas Josh Borbone status.
I don't know what just happened. She's like, Lucas is.
No, I'm just saying he hasn't been in like.
He only plays Mario Kart with you.
He's the Fluxtapose crew.
Yeah. That beautiful voice you're hearing, Lucas. Everybody, is Jason. Flexe is back.
I just explained this. Where were
you? I know. I was here typing and doing all the things, but I wanted to get him back introduced to the show proper.
Hey, Seth's here. Hi, Seth.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Bastion, if you guys haven't played it, it's a fantastic game. I can't believe it's still being ported. This game has been out since
That's the thing.
This game's been out since 2010, 2011 or something.
Yeah.
I was in college when this game came out. Jackbox
5.
Jackbox 5 Transistor.
Transistor's a great game.
Wait. Have you not? You love Bastion, but you're not excited about Transistor.
I played Bastion. I didn't love it, but I've played Bastion. Bastion was great for the day. So the things on my list, maybe Towerfall, Mineko's Night Market for sure, Untitled Goose Game for sure, maybe World Next Door, and Undertale is already on pre-order.
Transistor is better than all of those games combined.
Okay.
Throwing bows.
This is why we are the Shack.
You're about to get Lucas status.
I just want to recap that when
I don't care.
The community was pretty.
I can be excommunicated.
Adamant that Minoku's Night Market was #Caro game.
It's just
everyone
was
like,
it is
everyone was like,
me, right?
They're like, wait, why? I'm like, there's cats.
It's just cats.
I mean,
Jason, any of these games for you? You know, you got the Hyperlight.
Yeah, well, I will definitely buy Hyperlight again at some point. Like, I like how he's like, hey, look at this costume, and it's like
I was confused about that part.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting it to be another Zelda costume or something.
Yeah. It was just a really bad color swap, which honestly, I've played. You know, I finished Hyperlight and I was doing the New Game Plus mode, and it looks identical to me of what you looked like when playing New Game Plus. But I guess I'd have to do it again. But I will get that at some point. Towerfall, it's local only, so that just doesn't work. Into the Breach looks cool. I've heard good things about that, but I pulled the trigger on the Messenger, so that kind of limited me on anything else. I mean, I think there was more games that I was like, ooh, I want to get that from the previous Nindie's trailer, or excuse me, the indie trailer that we saw from Nintendo UK. I mean, this had some cool looking games, but I feel like there's not as many as I was like, I really want to buy that as compared to the last trailer that we saw.
Okay. So there you have it. We got to move on. Dragalia's Lost, that mobile game, that brand new IP that Nintendo was launching, that got a direct late last night. I stayed up and watched it. I think a lot of people forgot it was even a thing.
Yeah,
it was so catered to the like Japanese audience. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Did you know that Nintendo had a Nintendo mobile YouTube?
No.
Yeah, this wasn't on Nintendo's channel.
I couldn't find it this morning because I didn't watch it last night. I couldn't find it anywhere, and finally I got pulled up the mobile YouTube, but then it was all in Japanese, and I was like, and there was no subtitles. I was like, well, okay.
Yep.
I can turn into a dragon. I got it. Okay.
There you go. That's basically it. All right. So to get over the highlights, you get custom parties. There's over 60 companions you can collect with different classes, abilities, and elements. Real-time battles based on tap, hold, and swipe touch commands. There's a summon component just like Fire Emblem Heroes. And there's multiplayer, 4-player multiplayer you can raid together, and it includes microtransactions. And Nintendo did mention that they plan on having some sort of event system, or they have like seasonal events and stuff that you can do together.
That's cool.
My initial take is the game actually looked like a quality RPG,
cool.
to be honest with you. I was pretty impressed. I was like, this is a lot better than I thought it was. And as we kind of talked before Jason entered the fray, I really don't care. I've got my eyes set on bigger AAA experiences, and I've never been one for mobile gaming, so I was like, it looks like quality. I hope Daniel, old D-Life, has a blast. Go, you guys, go.
Right?
Daniel and I will be playing.
There you go.
I mean, I'll play it. I mean,
I'm excited for it. I need, like, the only thing that I'm playing aside from Disney Magic Kingdoms is, like, my Word Cookies app, where it's just a brain teaser thing. So I need an RPG for my phone. I think that'd be awesome. It looks really good. It really does. When did they say it was coming out for America? It's already out in Japan.
September 20-something.
That's right, 26th. Yeah. So it's coming out soon.
I mean, it looks cool. I mean, unfortunately, so far, Nintendo's streak with these mobile games is I keep them for about 3 weeks and then I drop them because
they make bukus.
I find myself like any situation when I would play the mobile game, I could just play my Switch instead. So for me, they just don't fit. I'm hoping maybe Mario Kart. That'll change that when that comes out. But I still will give this a try. I think it looks cool.
Seth, you want a mobile RPG?
No, I think my Octopath Traveler experience of kind of burning out on that may have soured me on JRPGs in general.
Okay.
And just that for me, like I'm just realizing that it's just not my thing.
Okay.
And
But.
Let's talk about
no
something that
but.
is your thing. Shovel Knight.
Alright.
Got some
Yep.
news. Shovel Knight
Yes.
Amiibo, King of Cards expansion, and the new announced Shovel Knight Showdown coming April 2019.
Guys, that's ridiculous.
It's really
It seems so far away, doesn't it?
I'm gonna go. You guys keep
Is that a
talking.
2-year expansion?
No, I'm gonna show you the day that I pre-ordered the Shovel Knight 3-pack amiibo when they were announced, and King of Cards was announced before then. So just continue.
There's like a warehouse somewhere with all these amiibo just boxed up, ready to go.
I feel like it.
Seth, what do you think about this delay?
I've been excited about King of Cards since beating Spectre of Torment. I think King of Cards has been announced since around then. I mean, it's like 2 years. It'll be 2 years by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight is top 5 game for me from this generation, whatever this generation means. I think it's getting fuzzier, but I love Shovel Knight. I think Spectre of Torment is an awesome story, or was a great story and great gameplay, and I'm excited about King of Cards. And I was surprised that it's April and was kind of sad about that because I've been waiting for it for so long. But on the other hand, in 1 week I'm playing Spider-Man, in a month I'm playing Red Dead Redemption, and then Smash Brothers is coming out in December. So I mean, it's not like there aren't things to play.
Right.
And maybe come April it'll be a downtime anyway. But
I ordered these
surprised.
amiibo on October 30th of last year.
You'll get them? You'll get your
That's
amiibos?
ridiculous. I mean, I know, but I mean, just like that's a long time for some DLC.
That is a long expansion, but they're working on this Showdown thing. What do you think of this Showdown thing, Jason?
Junk.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm never going to play it. It has no appeal to me.
Because of local?
When I first heard the description, I was like, this is going to be awesome.
I thought it was Shovel Knight Castle Crashers.
Yeah. And I kept reading it. I was like, okay, like Shovel Knight. This is like Shovel Knight Smash Brothers a little bit. I was really excited. And then I kept reading, and I was like, oh, it's offline only. Mm-hmm. So I will play it when my son is 10 in 10 years.
You got nothing but time, man. Nothing but time.
I mean, it's a bummer.
Is it all arena based? Because when I watched the trailer, it looked like they all just kind of enter a level and they play in that level. It's not like Castle Crashers where you actually pan and zoom across.
I didn't even watch anything on it.
I think they have isn't there a single player
component? I think you're right. There's some sort of single player thing because they mentioned how you can play as
They said
any
there was like
character.
a story, but all the gameplay they showed, like they never moved the screen. So I'm wondering if there's like a little cutscene and then you jump into like a level, like arena level, and you beat that, and then you go to the next cutscene. That's what I was thinking.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, it says there's a story mode. Play as all the key heroes and villains from Shovel Knight. Master over 16 playable characters. Compete in one-on-one duels. Story mode, a multi-stage journey customized for each character.
Mm.
So the stages is what I was thinking. Look at Ted over here in
Ted,
the chat.
man.
What up, Ted?
Thank you so much. Wow.
Thanks for the bits, dude.
Welcome to Shaq. Ted.
Bomb.com, man. I love Ted. He is always in my channel.
Ted's been on a roll.
Yeah, he is. I was watching him on Sean Capri's stream the other day. He's killing it.
He's awesome, dude. Are you interested in what's that Blade Strangers at all, Seth? Just to play a Shovel Knight?
Yeah, I watched some gameplay of it. I'm terrible at fighting games, is my problem, and I have no one to play them against. So, and that one, I think you really need. I think the single player is pretty weak in that.
Yeah.
So
I would agree.
I was also. It's been kind of a month or two of Shovel Knight disappointments for me. I was disappointed that he's not in Smash Brothers as a playable fighting character.
Not alone.
And then this delay or whatever, and then Blade Strangers looks fine, but
though it's still pretty.
It's weird seeing him as a huge character instead of as a little character.
It's still a big deal for him to be honored by being in Smash Ball. Like that's
I think it's cool, but I was watching it without the sound on, so I thought that he was a playable character.
I just see Seth in his house. He's just
until
like, yes!
yeah. That's pretty much what I was like. And then someone explained to me what was actually going on.
What an assist was.
Yeah.
Well, I remember talking to them about it at MomoCon, and I mean, I got to tell you, not that it means anything really, but I had no impression from the interview that it was this far away. I totally thought it was like a fall thing. I was like, oh, it'll drop this fall.
His reveal trailer for Rivals of Aether is actually really cool. Shovel Knight's appearance in that. But I think I saw a statistic. He's been like in 10 games now outside of Shovel Knight.
It's getting a
cool.
run.
I'm excited to see what Yacht Club does next.
I think a lot.
I'm ready for them to be done with Shovel Knight.
Yeah, Shovel Knight's great, but it's time for
something else.
Yep. Shovel Knight 2!
I hope not.
Onimusha, the first one, is being remastered, and it's coming to all consoles this January. Capcom announced kind of in a surprise manner late last week, which I was completely stunned by. I had played an Onimusha game, I believe, on PlayStation 2, like a hack and slash samurai game. So,
Never played it.
They're not like setting the world on fire, but they were fun. And this one's getting 16:9 support, HD visuals, all that stuff. Still kind of looks like it plays like a PlayStation game. So I don't know. We'll have to see what it looks like. But anybody that's looking for a little retro love, I believe the game is $19.99. It's dropping physical for PlayStation, Xbox, but digital only for Switch, which is to be expected, I think.
Yeah.
Then the big rumor for the news before we get into our discussion topic, it looks like Diablo's date is December 21st. That's 2 weeks after Smash. What does that do for any of your Diablo fancy?
Makes me not buy it, unfortunately. I was super excited to buy this game again.
Smash,
and we go from fall, so I was like, perfect. It's a great lead-in. It's going to hide me over. Now they're telling me it comes out,
the last day of fall?
A week after Smash?
2 weeks.
The day you leave for Christmas break?
So, I'm like, I need my gaming time. Let's be honest, most of my gaming time is going to go to Smash for possibly the next 6 months after.
They lied. December 21st is the first day of winter this year.
So, for me,
it's a rumor.
It's a rumor, exactly. It's still a rumor, but at this point, it's like, well, it goes from a day one purchase for me to wait and see, because there's and I'm getting the friend circle like, oh, but it would be a good palate cleanser, and while that will be true, but I've made the mistake before of buying games simply because other people say they want to play it with me. That's not a good habit to do because you're going to get burned on that. So it turns from what was going to be a day one purchase for me to, I guess I'll get it at some point, maybe
from the library. I'm not that far different from you because, I like you was looking at this as fitting in between that, that party and Smash window, and I was going to find something to do. And now with it being all the way back then, I mean, at the very least, it'll be a Christmas present now. Now I'll be asking for it for Christmas, and if I don't get it, then I'll use gift cards for it. And if I don't get that, for me, that's right in the middle of like Super Bowl planning. So if I don't get to it before the 1st, I may not get to it before like my birthday. It could be till March now. Like it really kind of throws a wrench in any plans that I had for Diablo.
Yeah.
Seth, were you excited? Were you going to get Diablo? I remember you thought it was one of the better games this gen.
Oh yeah, I love Diablo 3.
Were you thinking about double dipping?
No, I played through it all once. Played through it with a friend. Had that experience. Yeah, I'm not gonna double dip.
Yeah.
Okay. Caroline, Diablo, anything?
I'm not getting Diablo.
That's right.
There's no cats.
That's right. Lack of cats.
Caroline,
8.5. Not enough
playing
cats.
Good games.
I've got some friends
wants to play crappy games, crappy cat games, and junior RPG.
Jeez.
I've got some friends that have never played a Diablo type game and are looking forward to it. So part of me was like, oh, I kind of want to experience that with them, but
I'm pretty sure Seth is never going to be allowed back here ever again.
$60 experience?
That's all right.
No, he's not.
It's okay.
Seth's never going to be allowed
Hey,
back.
I put an olive branch out and had Caro on the PlayStation podcast, even though she's never touched a PlayStation console in her adult life.
We had a good time.
Yeah, that was a good episode. Now, let's get into the topic du jour. This is kind of been a topic that's been running around the internet of late, at least the past 3 or 4 days. Our friend Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, did a video about it. Some other stuff we've got into it, and I think it's really good. And Seth, I think you'll be able to get in here. So this discussion topic is generated or was spurned by one Robert Boyd, the co-owner of Z-Boyd Games, makers of Cosmic Star Heroine. And he went on Reset Era this week and detailed his frustrations working with Nintendo. And, quote, "We got an okay number of reviews, but yeah, we couldn't get Nintendo to mention the game anywhere. Real shame, since even a retweet from Nintendo probably would have given us a big boost in visibility. I get that it was just a port, but after spending months getting stonewalled by Nintendo when we were trying to get permission to release on Switch, going, fine, we'll play by your rules, and getting a publisher just so we could get approved, and still getting ignored by Nintendo by the time the game was done and set to release, is highly frustrating." He went on to mention, that they had like some website support stuff. His trailer didn't get updated. He couldn't get any of his details fixed on the website. And really, this statement that he put on Reset Era in the forum started, Nintendo Life and all the other blogs started picking up and Go Nintendo, and then other developers started weighing in on it. So, Alex Rushdie from 13am Games rated on it. He said, "You only hear about indie success stories on Switch, not the failures, and that's total information bias. As with any platform, I think it's good for developers and gamers to see the reality of the other side." And Jules Watcham from Atui, makers of Mutant Mudds and Chicken Wiggle, which we already mentioned, he said, "They can't promote every game," quotations. These are replies that Jules responding to. He goes, "Yes, this is clearly obvious, but I'll respond anyway. This is why I propose a system in which some of the coveted promotional slots on the eShop and social media be applied for by devs who might have a real gem of a game, but no PR savvy." He went on to add, he responded to somebody saying it's not Nintendo's job to promote devs' games. He says this is absolutely true. However, Nintendo is playing with fire by choosing to promote some devs' games and not others. After all, some great games have not been promoted, and some bad games have been, which is perplexing. So I asked the panel to get this conversation started. Is it Nintendo's responsibility to provide more coverage for independent partners? Caroline?
No, it's not. And I think these guys just totally ruined their chances of getting any help with Nintendo in the future. If I saw this and I was like somebody that was high up trying to help a smaller company, and I would just be very put off by this. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with them. It's like, why? I mean, yes, let's just talk for a second about the fact that we've come off 2 Nintendo indie things this past couple of weeks. I think Nintendo is one of the only big companies that play ball with indies the way that they do. So the fact that he just went
engaged, Seth. Do you disagree?
Yeah.
You're in the silo of not paying attention to PlayStation, where where Nintendo has these Nindie showcases, and then they go quiet for 3 months, and then they have a Nindie showcase, and which is great. It's a great way to highlight games. PlayStation doesn't do that, but they have. If you go to PlayStation blog right now, of course, it'll probably be a bunch of mainstream stuff like Destiny 2 is on there, but they have an article about Prison Architect, the blogcast, which I don't know, thousands of people listen to. Is that still a thing? Is it still going after Sid left? Okay. Yeah. Today's, and I haven't listened to it yet, is about the topic they cover is single sitting games, which is games you can complete in a single sitting, which is going to be a lot of indie games. Sure. They have a awesome look at Spelunky 2, that game The Forest that's coming out. So now I'm gonna engage a little bit, not only because I don't need the entire blog read, but I just want to tell you. I know. But I was just saying there's other people play nice with indies too. Sure, absolutely. I would push back a little bit and say that PlayStation hasn't been providing the spotlight to indie devs like they used to. And as somebody who has all the consoles, it was actually something that I've kind of missed from them, because when they started the generation and coming back off of the PlayStation 3 generation, where they were funding a lot of
indie type experiences that they promoted as highlights at E3 showcases and gave them the grand stage, the biggest stage of them all. I remember an E3 show where they had the entire room surrounded by independent developers all the way around, and they panned around. They haven't done anything like that in 2 or 3 years. They have like these sizzle reels that everybody has. But just to push back a little bit, I think to Caroline's original point, I would agree that I think Nintendo shines the spotlight brightest on Nindies, but I think it's out of necessity. They don't have anything else to shine the spotlight on.
I agree with that.
So, and if you compare that to PlayStation 4's launch, that was the same thing the first couple years. There weren't the first-party PlayStation games coming out.
Well, it's not even first-party. Like, the difference being Nintendo doesn't have Call of Duty and Red Dead. And, so they have to shine spotlights on SteamWorld Dig 2 and things like that. Jason, what do you think?
I have a history with Z-Boyd. I kind of I appreciate them as a studio because I fell in love with one of their first games I played, which was Cthulhu Saves the World, and then they made a couple of the RPGs for Penny Arcade back in the day, and that's how I really got excited about them. And then I saw they were developing Cosmic Star Heroine, so I've been aware of that game for a while. And if I remember reading, there was something similar where I saw them being outspoken about it with criticizing on something, and I just remember it. You've got the details on that?
So I was actually, you couldn't have set me up for a better segue, because I wanted to bring up to everybody's point that this isn't the first time that this person has kind of made
I thought I rememred something
points
like that.
about
So he's
this.
just a troublemaker.
No, I mean, I don't want to go that far, but let's just go back to 2009, 2010.
Oh, wow. I remember that far ago.
Cthulhu can't cash in. Quote, I think our games could sell a lot better than they did with a better platform and more visibility. Z-Boyd's Robert Boyd told Ars Technica about Xbox Live Indies Gold with program. So he's basically saying the exact same thing back in 2010, 2011 on Xbox that he's saying right now about Nintendo and Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I want to just separate his comments a little bit from Jules, which is why I pulled this. I'm not trying to discredit him or make him out to be a troublemaker.
But there's a history there.
There's a pattern.
You have to acknowledge that.
I would like to mention that at least for his point on Cosmic Star Heroine, it's a port of an older game. The game came to Vita and PlayStation. I know about the game. I knew about the game. It didn't sell gangbusters there. I can't imagine having expectations set super high, especially launching in a window that has Octopath. He even mentioned Octopath in his defense for sales. He was like, all these people love Octopath. Surely they'd love our game. Octopath looks like a brand new game. Your game looks like a retro game. Your game looks like Chrono Trigger.
It's why Rivals of Aether isn't launching until 2019. It's like, why do we want a Smash gaming to be out anywhere near Smash Brothers Ultimate?
Kind of.
I've listened to a few opinions about this, and I have my own as well, and I had formulated, and I kind of swing both ways because I agree it's not Nintendo's responsibility
coming out of the shack
to do this. You're your own independent studio. You have to take some responsibility for your own company's success. But then I also agree at the same time, Nintendo has shown haphazardly that we're going to promote said game. We're not going to do anything with this game. So it's like a confusing message that they're sending, across the board. I don't know. I'm not there when they're having the discussion and the onboarding process for an indie game to get their game onto the Switch, onto the eShop. So I'm not sure what expectations are even discussed there or how that's laid out. But I would be upset if I was in the position where I put a game out and I thought I at least would get. I've seen, for instance, and maybe it's just because I follow the game so much, but I feel like Blossom Tales has had that's a huge success story, and that's been publicized how well that game is done on Switch, and I've seen the frustration from Jules on his games not getting anything when he's been a proven developer, proven supporter of Nintendo. So there's some disconnect there. But at the same time, I don't know. You can't. I don't know. I can't blame Nintendo too. I mean, I think we all agree and we'll all be critical that there's some things Nintendo just doesn't do well. eShop curation, communication, decisions. There's a lot of stuff that makes you scratch your head. So yeah, is there something that maybe they could do better, where they could spotlight these games? I mean, we have people have talked about how we have the Nindie's news channel now on the Switch.
Yeah, we completely forgot.
Maybe it's time we need, an Nindie's dedicated PR or social media branch that at least focuses on those games. But I don't know. I'll bring up a point that Bobby said that I think that Nintendo Guru said in his recent video that made sense, is how companies go lean in times of downturns. So probably during the Wii U era, we saw Nintendo have to lean up in a lot of departments. Now, so when the Switch has come on, you're going to have to see ramping up in certain areas. And maybe they're just not equipped to, they don't have the personnel or extra personnel to handle that. I don't know. And is this like what Damon Baker and his team was mostly responsible for? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I want to loop Seth back in this conversation, but I just want to reframe it a bit. This Ars Technica article that I brought up from Z Boyd back in 2011, it just kind of shows that this isn't a Nintendo problem.
Yeah.
And it's a discoverability problem, and the rise of indie games basically taking over the second party market. Video gaming has never probably been this competitive before. Like, it's as competitive and as flooded as it's ever been before. This is an issue that happens on PlayStation, on Xbox, on Switch. It happened in 2011, it happened in 2012, and it's 2018. It's happening again. It'll happen next year. So, Seth, I mean, this isn't uncommon for a PlayStation owner. There's 1,000 games over there, and they drop, 20, 30 new games every week. I mean, go on Steam. What do you think about, is it on the platform provider to provide better discoverability? Is it their responsibility?
No, not really. I mean, I was looking at the post on the eShop store today on psvg.blog. There were 18 games that came out today, or this week, or over to next week, however it works. Obviously, the Messenger has gotten a lot of push. And Into the Breach got a pretty big drop at the end of the indie showcase, which, well, I thought it was cool. I was expecting something a lot bigger when they did there. And one more thing. And then it's like this top-down 8-bit.
Shovel Knight and Smash, we lied!
So, I think they do... They kind of have to, within their teams, pick and choose what they think is going to be a big hit. And sometimes if they don't choose your game that you've worked on for so many years, I mean, I'm sure that's part of it. It's going to sting a little bit. But it's not... You look at PlayStation, one of the biggest indie games that has come out this generation, No Man's Sky, which they pushed. I mean, it was an independently developed game, a team of 12 people. I'm not sure who published it.
I think Sony published it.
No, it's on Xbox now, and PC.
Okay.
I don't think they published.
Well, while
it.
you look that up, while you looked that up, I wanted to come back to kind of what you talked about. They have to pick and choose who to push. There's too many. Yeah. You can't push everybody. And that was some of the comments that were being made by devs. More that, why are they pushing games like Fortnite, like the Messenger, these games are going to sell? Why aren't they pushing some lesser known games?
They self-published, by the way.
Self-published. Yeah. I just thought, I know Sony gave them money. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, right. So my point there was, they had this indie game that they blew up and really pushed and got behind, and then it bombed.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, it's turned, I think, into a success story 2 years later.
Yep.
But Sony caught a lot of flack. I mean, Hello Games caught a lot of flack for that too. But Sony did also, because they pushed the game so hard, and then it sucked at launch, even though it didn't. But
Sean Murray was a bit of a meme for a bit, I think.
Yeah,
sure.
So they're trying to pick and choose what they think is going to be a big deal, and you can't promote everything.
Caroline, what do you think about Nintendo pushing games like Fortnite that already have so much popularity and buzz versus maybe a lesser known game that could probably use the rub more?
I think it's just They know what sells, so I mean, why wouldn't you capitalize on that? Why wouldn't you capitalize on it?
It's like why is Nintendo releasing a Minecraft 3DS?
Right.
People are going to go nuts for it.
Right.
Minecraft's popular.
It's just a good business model to, be like, hey, by the way, we got it too. For the people that, have their lesser known games not come to the light of day, like those hidden gems type thing that people just express through word of mouth because it didn't get publicized by the big companies. I do feel bad, and I do think there's probably a solution for that. But at the same time, it's just I think it's about building a relationship with those kinds of developers. And I hate to say it's like an old boys club, but I mean, like, there's very much that in every sort of business relationship you get into. So you kind of have to, you scratch your back, I'll scratch yours type thing. And they need to get in the door with Nintendo in more ways than just, hey, by the way, we're porting this game and we're putting it on Switch. That's okay, right? And I don't know. I just feel like doing this and in such a, it's really like a minor game. It's a game that came out a while ago, and they're just porting it. I don't know what else Zeboyd has done for Switch. Have they done anything else? Or have they done anything with Nintendo?
I don't think so.
Well, that's just it. You're screwing the pooch on this. You're completely annihilating any sort of credibility that you have with them in terms of, instead of being like, okay, yeah, this maybe wasn't the best foot in the door type game for us with Nintendo, but now that he's come out and settled this stuff, I feel like he's just ruined any sort of credibility that this developer would have with Nintendo going forward.
I don't think so. I don't think it's wrong for a developer to be forthright, or at least try to be transparent. I know like we've said, he's kind of done this before, so maybe that has something to say. But like with Jules's case, Jules is kind of defending his right to say so. Jules is a known quantity for Nintendo for many years, released many games, and worked with them. So I don't think that's necessarily the case. I want to say I don't think it's Nintendo's responsibility to provide coverage for lesser known games. I realize that these games are partnering with Nintendo, though I will say I think Nintendo can do more, and because they can do more, I think they should. I wouldn't be as opposed to some eShop updates for some featured indies as opposed to the also featured games category. Specifically in Jules's case, discoverability is very difficult. It seems like if you guys haven't been in a long time, a lot of indies are taking the let's just put our game on sale approach, because putting your game on sale gets you into the sales category, or at least gets people checking on the games, because everybody checks the sales tab. Whereas if you don't put it on sale and you didn't come out that day, you just get buried in the thousands and thousands of layers of games. So some discoverability in that regard goes a long way. But I also don't think it's just Nintendo's responsibility. There are all these games that we hear about either through directs or through blogs or through Twitter or through social media. There's a lot of other ways to find a game besides
to be able to market
the
themselves.
eShop. Yeah, I think that's a part of it too. But it is interesting how Nintendo does these highlight reels, because there's several games, specifically in Jules's case, that I would love to have seen get some Nindie direct rub that I think are far more deserving than some of these other games. And maybe that's Nintendo trying to branch into new territories or new partners or something. I have no idea how they pick and choose to which games they choose to prop up and which ones they don't. But I mean, I definitely got to think it goes a long way. Now, the support side of it, though, how this guy can't get his trailer updated on the website, and how he can't update his text, and like Nintendo not retweeting devs. Like, we retweet devs all day. I know it because I do it. You mean to tell me there's somebody at Nintendo that can't do that? They can do that. It didn't have to be from the Nintendo America account. Jason, like you said, maybe they go with some sort of ID Xbox arm. Maybe they get some sort of Nindie arm that, kind of drums up some buzz for some of these things. I think that'd be great. Yeah.
I mean, it's been an expanding partnership that we've seen, throughout, especially with the Switch. You know, we've really seen this, especially with the whole Nindie's brand. So I think I think that's a logical progression for them to explore into.
Yeah, it's an interesting discussion, and there's a lot of harsh things being said kind of on both sides, and I think that as with anything, rule out the far extremes on both ends and come towards the middle, and that's typically where you'll find some common ground. I think Nintendo could do more. I don't think it's a responsibility to do so. Like you guys said, there's 30 games that drop every week. That's 100 a month. That's over 1,000 a year. How can you possibly highlight 1,000 games a year? Like you can't.
While working on your own.
And if you do, then guess what? Then you're all operating in the same market you are now. Yeah. You're just in a big pool together. Honestly, I think this is a problem more about the market of video games. There's too many games. That's like they're all. It's like it's just capitalism. They're all scavenging for the
Don't
spotlight
say that.
It's
like we're going to be in the '83 crash again. That's not good.
But I mean, you're already kind of seeing it. There's this constant race to the bottom.
Oh, I know.
Right? There's constant race to be cheaper, to be more, to have more hours.
Mobile
and more...
market is a joke.
Exactly. And especially with Switch, they cater to a lot of that mobile market, that independent developer market. You're going to see a lot of that fluctuate and come in. And I just don't think some developers are not going to like having that much competition. To be quite honest. So. Yep. And they'll say things like this. So anyway, that more or less wraps up our show. We're kind of over time now, but we'll get in a couple of these questions. We'll get in a couple of these questions. No. Are you as Nindie exhausted as I am? Says Rebecca. The first question in our direct to you question block.
Please understand.
Seth, are you as exhausted about Nindies as she is?
No. My favorite games that I've played this year on either Nintendo or PlayStation have been Celeste and I think Dead Cells. If I can ever get past the first boss,
I want that game.
I like it quite a bit. And then there's another one. What's another indie game that I've been
Golf Story
singing the praises of?
Did you play West of Loathing?
Yes, West of Loathing. That's it. That's the other one. So, I mean, those are three of my favorite games. My other favorite game this year so far has been Detroit, which obviously is not an indie game. But no, I'm not as indie. I'm not indie exhausted. There have been a lot of good quality games.
Caroline, you exhausted of independent games?
Nah.
Keep them coming.
We gotta. I mean, I love Nintendo IP, but I need to spice up the flavor a little bit. I can't just play Nintendo all the time.
Yeah,
I can play it on the Switch all the time. I don't mind doing that. But yeah, I like having that occasional spice of life type thing.
Sure,
keep them coming.
Jason,
I've only played one first-party game this year, so I mean, if it wasn't for Nindies.
I mean, besides, don't have any first-party games.
Besides Octopath. I mean, Octopath that's second party. But I mean, everything else I played has been indies, and I mean, I've put 40 hours into Hollow Knight. I mean, that alone. I mean, that's been one of my favorite games to play this year. And I just got The Messenger. I've been playing a ton of indies, so I really enjoy it. I mean, I'm gonna sink more time into a game I've already owned and played in Hyper Light Drifter, so I welcome indies to keep coming.
Me too.
They're great fillers to the next release.
Yep. I just got Dead Cells. I think
we're not exhausted.
Yeah, I think this is what happens to Nintendo fans when like Mario and Zelda don't show up often.
I can say we can be exhausted on the same aesthetics or too much of the same. From
same kind.
Indies,
now that's
this
super hard retro thing that's going on right now. I'm getting a little tired of the.
We've got 8-bit pixel graphics.
Yeah. New Game Plus. This is the hardest game you'll ever play. That I'm getting tired of that. That's getting a little annoying. Drew asks, "Are we getting too many Nintendo Directs?" I like to point out these Nindie highlights weren't Directs as much as they may feel like it. So they weren't Directs, but is Nintendo talking too much too often, Jason?
We're the worst people for these type of questions. I feel like I feel like a Nintendo homer because I love directs. So.
Right? Me too.
Direct
Who
Day
doesn't?
Direct Day is the best
Direct
day.
Day
Because
is
of this,
like
the three of
Christmas.
us always talk about it. We're like, oh, we're gonna do a direct. Yep. We always get excited and we talk about it, and then we do the thing. It's good. Like I always like the Nindie directs because they're like boom, 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 announcement after announcement, and you're in and out.
They were fast paced. Give them that.
I feel like we had obviously what we got at E3. I think we're due for another like Koizumi.
Ooh.
Direct where he comes in there with the headlines, because we haven't seen it. It's been a while since we had a direct
what are
like
those
that.
called?
And-
They're the spotlights or something?
yeah, so I really feel like we're due for one of those.
Don't we need another look at Super Smash Brothers?
Oh,
I think-
I think we need.
we'll have
100%
two
think-
directs. We'll have two directs
Another
before
30
Smash drops.
I think we need a Zelda game announced for this fall for
3DS
just 3DS. Yeah.
with the
No,
another
have-
limited edition Zelda.
Yeah, we'll have the
Yeah.
fall direct, Seth, and then
2DS.
Smash will get its own direct again.
Smash will get its
Okay,
own direct in
geez.
October.
Yeah.
So from the not Nintendo outsider. I mean, I don't think I come from the viewpoint of you can't over communicate. So
Yep.
communicate more. But I do think like for this indie showcase, and again referencing the PlayStation blog, if you had just an outlet where just every day or two you're posting and spotlighting one of these games with the trailer that was in the direct, and it's more drawn out, I think you get the same effect or even more of a spotlight on an individual game rather
Yeah, but
than
if
saying,
Nintendo did that,
"Here's
I
20
mean,
games
they wouldn't
at
come
once."
to psvg.blog. You know what I'm saying? You hear that, Nintendo? Hire the Nintendo Shack. We'll be your indie arm. We'll do that.
You guys would talk about the same games. You would spend if this week into the
Dude's been
brief or
talking about
whatever-
Transistor since he's been on PSVG. Like literally, just like let's just say that now. Like Transistor, Shovel Knight, over and over again. We got it. All right. I like that.
No, I'm whatever.
We got to get to the next question, and I think it's going to be a long one. So let's get to the
Switch
last
Pro
question.
controller sucks.
Last question. This comes from Surge. Dearest Shakians, Seth, that's not you.
2018 has been terrible.
Seth,
for
that's
gaming.
not you.
It sucks.
Dearest Shakians,
Surge.
2017 and 2018 have been amazing years in gaming,
No, they haven't. They
especially on the Nintendo
2017 was
Switch.
good.
How
2018
can
has sucked. It's been
2019
terrible?
live up to the expectations that have been set for us during the first 2 years of this
Everyone
amazing
can throw
console?
their Switches in the Grand Canyon and bury them.
Wow. Caroline, go.
Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, Yoshi, Metroid.
She just says
Did I
all
say
of the
more?
properties.
Need I say more? I
No,
mean, we're
you
getting
really don't.
Fire
That's
Emblem.
really good. Fire Emblem.
We're getting Yoshi.
Are
We've
we
gotta get
actually
Animal
getting those
Crossing next year.
things, or
We'll get Fire Emblem.
We're definitely getting
And
Fire
Yoshi.
Emblem and Yoshi.
Okay.
I think Metroid Prime will probably be at
I
least
don't know
announced
about
for
Yoshi, by the
2020.
way. And I only say that. I think I agree with you, but I want to just point out Yoshi was delayed on Wii U for a really long time.
That'll be really sad if that game still isn't
That
coming
game was
out.
polished though when we saw it a year
You're
ago.
right. I'm just saying on Wii U,
portion
they
of it
showed
was
us Yoshi
polished
in like 2013.
a
Like
year ago.
it was out there for a while.
Will they give Kevin his Pikmin 4 in 2019?
Pikmin.
Nope.
Calm down.
Nope.
We'll get a Pikmin game in 2020.
Jason,
It'll be on mobile, free to play.
Jason, how
99
can
cents a
2019 live up to the Switch standard?
I'll still be playing Smash Bros. I'm
Jason's
good.
like, I don't care.
I don't care.
Smash.
Smash. Come
Seth,
fight me. Come fight me. Drop my friend code in the comments.
what does 2019 need to do to make you just crusty old PlayStation or play that Switch a little bit more? Besides Shovel Knight.
Come out with
He's got King of Cards coming in.
Switch. I have King of Cards coming. No, really, it's been a weird year for me with Switch. I'm not interested in Kirby. I flamed out on Octopath, and then if you take away those two games, what big games have come to Switch
Party,
this year?
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade came this year.
Well, there's one
Late
coming next
last
month.
year.
There's one coming
What?
next month.
No, that's not a new game though.
It's a new
It's
expansion,
just DLC.
but it's
Okay.
standalone. You can play it anyway.
Okay, well, I'm not going to. As I covered JRPGs, I've just discovered that they're just not for me.
I got you.
Between Persona,
Ni no
last year
Kuni.
I flamed out on. Ni no Kuni I flamed out on.
That's just fun to say.
Yeah, that's true.
We're getting Damon Ex Machina next year.
That game looks awesome.
Ooh, look, you got him. What happened to Starlink? Seth was all
Pokemon
about some
this
Starlink.
year.
And now he played No Man's Sky again and he just quit.
That's it, yeah. No Man's Sky.
When's that weird mech game coming out again that they showed?
Damon Ex Machina?
That's the one.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it.
Sometime next year, I think.
Now, I will be this fall and winter season. I'm more into. I mean, and I think it's been a slow year gaming wise on PS4 also. Other than I keep forgetting God of War because I didn't play that one. But I think it's been a slow year for me in gaming, and now coming up, we've got Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption, Pokemon, which I'm excited for my kids to play, Super Smash Brothers. It's going to be a good end of the year.
Joseph says, "Get that Starlink trash out of here."
But it's got Star Fox. All right, so 2019, Fire Emblem, Yoshi, Animal Crossing, and that's a stellar year, guys. And if you throw in that Star Fox racing game, that rumor, man, I'm all about some Star Fox racing game.
So you think so? Fire Emblem, Yoshi, and
Seth, you don't know how amazing Animal Crossing is. You just wait.
Animal Crossing has got to be next year.
Coach Mo plays Animal Crossing. What more can we say?
Animal Crossing was the first game I had on 3DS. I played a lot of it. I like Animal Crossing.
You'll play it even more when we all get it together.
And we all get a Switch.
It doesn't carry the same pathos as some other. I don't know.
Says you.
For me, to me,
what kind of pathos
what
you
I mean.
got?
Here's funny. We all talked about 2018. I guess not living up to the bill and doesn't have the first party games. There's a Pokemon game. There's a brand new Pokemon game coming out
that a lot of people are discounting because it's not a brand new Pokemon game.
But it is a brand new Pokemon game.
It's not rehashed.
a remake. It's inspired by. It's not
when it was announced, people were very disappointed.
It is Kalos, or not Kalos, excuse me. It is Kanto, but I mean it's Pokemon Yellow.
It's all new to me because I've never.
I look. So
game.
We still don't know what's left for the fall. There's the Mario rumors. So if you get Mario Bros. You get Mario Party. You got Smash. You got Pokemon. That's one hell of a fall, man.
We have Captain Toad.
We don't get games like that. Yeah, Captain Toad. Man.
We got some more ports we got to bring over, guys.
Donkey Kong. Yeah, get him over there. Get him over there. All right, guys, we got to wrap it up. So this is going to be us signing off. Thank you for tuning in to the Nintendo Shack. Sorry we let Seth on. We'll make sure we don't do that in the future. And but once again, definitely thank you for tuning in. Sorry I'm sick. But hopefully I'll be better by this time next week. When we get back to what you've been playing, we hear all about Little Dragon's Cafe, some more Dead Cells, and The Messenger. Caroline, tell everybody where they can find you.
First, I'm going to plug something. You guys, there's this amazing Kickstarter book that can be a reality if we get like $6,000 more. It's called On the Origin Kanto Edition. If you're a Pokemon fan, please go look it up. I'm
interested. No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. It's done by a fellow who is a zoologist, and he does all of his own art for the book, and he's got these nice vector images of the Pokemon, all 151 original Pokemon, and next to it, it's real-world counterparts with other animals and nature and stuff. $6,000 away. It's like 15,000 pounds in Britain. It's English book, but okay. I will post the link. I'm continuing to post the link. I will post it on my Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at the Nintendame. You can find me on Twitch daily from 3:30 to 5:30 on the weekdays, streaming at the Nintendame, and weekends are up in the air. Though Saturdays I'm probably not going to be streaming much anymore because it's football season, baby.
Football's back.
Oh yes. But other than that, look out for new Arcadia Academia that's coming out, and we're going to record it next week for The Sims. So be on the lookout. We'll see you guys then.
Blah, 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 blah,
Seth,
blah, blah.
where can, do the Shack people even want to follow you?
They won't.
What?
No,
I feel like
never mind. Jason,
I've
tell
been
the listeners where
trying
they can
to be
find
entertaining.
You can find Jason on Twitter at JW Lacey. He's on a podcast called Fluxtapose. You can find him Friday nights where he does If We Ran Nintendo with Bobby Pauls.
I am the
and
best.
Sean Capri. My name's Donnie Reece. You can find me on Twitter at Play Nintendo. Follow PSVG on Twitter at PSVG. Come check out the blog, psvg.blog. Click the Discord banner in the right side. Let's just go ahead and fix this. I will just go ahead and mute Seth. There we go. psvg.blog. Head over there. Click out the Discord banner. Come join us in the Discord. If you would like to tell Seth how awful this appearance was, you can. Thank you guys so much. If you love what we do, I don't know why you would after this episode. You can come find us over there at patreon.com/makeusbetter, where you can support some other shows in addition to the Nintendo Shack, but not Seth's. Anyway, thank you all so much for downloading and listening to the Shack. Good night, Koopa.